Hey, I'm out for a jog. It's about 1,000 degrees, give or take. Well, I'm alternating running and walking, so it averages out to a jog, jiggity jog. Working on that active recovery, that resilient heart rate. Ooh. And heat endurance, apparently. Oh, see that silk tree? I need some of those blooms. They're up really high, though. They just resurfaced the road. Got that little pea gravel on it, and when trucks go by fast, it stings. People, this is not a real busy road. You could scooch over a little bit. Comes another one. Brace yourself. Builds character. I'm out watering plants, cooling down after my run walk. Letting my mind wander. I was thinking about stored food. How people store food. You know, you'll hear those commercials for dehydrated or freeze-dried food, and I think that's a good idea. I mean, people will laugh at preppers or people that just want to store. I don't care what you're called, survivalist prepper, or just a person that just wants to have a little just in case, just a little insurance. You don't laugh at people for having insurance. You know, you don't laugh at people for locking your door, even if nobody has ever broken into our house. We lock the door every night. Does that make us paranoid? Does that make us kooks? No. So yeah, having a little food stored back, that's a great thing. Now people will say, oh, you know, food stores that you can't store enough food to last the rest of your life. As though when something happens, it's gonna be the rest of your life. It's gonna be like setting the world back to zero. I know I run a Forager's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, but that's mostly tongue-in-cheek. That's just for fun, you know? I don't really expect a scenario that is going to reset human race to the Stone Age. It could happen, absolutely. I think it's foolish to think that it couldn't happen, but I just mean statistically. You know, just the odds of it are not very high. The odds are greater for a local emergency, or an economic collapse, something that doesn't destroy the world. It really hampers the U.S. You know, it would be bad for the rest of the world too, because they use the dollar a lot. The more local and the more minor you get, the more likely something gets. I mean, everybody gets sick and has to miss a day of work. Almost everybody has at least a little fender bender at some point in their life. Just almost. Not everybody, but most people do. So it does not seem unreasonable to have some food stored. You don't have to store enough food to last the rest of your life. Maybe just have enough food to last for you and your family to last a couple of weeks, maybe a month. I mean, suppose a big storm comes through, a tornado comes through, destroys your city, and the food lines, the power is shut off, the food lines are disrupted. Maybe they bring in trucks with some food, some relief, and that's great, but you'd have to wait in line for that. They may run out. There's no guarantees. It's not the normal, it's not the normal security that you're used to. So yeah, having some food set back, nothing wrong with that. And what, worst case scenario, you just leave it in the closet somewhere, and before it expires, you just pull it out and eat it. It was just food. Or worst case scenario, you forget about it and it expires, and oh well, it just took up some space, and you can compost it. It's not like this big super commitment, like you're destroying your life. You're not out having fun because you bought a month's worth of food. You know, freeze-dried food in a bucket. It just seems like a good common sense thing. Storage can be a problem. I get that. You can shove stuff under your bed. Maybe you can, you could save money, right? You could sell your bed, keep the mattress, put the mattress on the buckets of food. I need to do a video. I need to do a ton of videos. There's so many good things to do, but so limited time to do it. But I should do a video on the foraging aspects of living in a city during an emergency. Hey, look. Ducks. is my space for 100 chickens. It is a big enough space. It's a little on the smaller side for what I really want. As big as they are now, it's gonna be fine. As they grow older though, I do have some more chicken wire where I can expand this out. I didn't make it big to start with because I needed the 1-inch chicken wire when they were little tiny things. But now that they're bigger, when they get big enough that they really need more space, I'll expand it out into here and they can clear all this out. And even though it's in the shade of a pecan tree, I might find something I could grow under there. Maybe something in the cool weather time of year, something like a lettuce, some kind of green. Something that would grow when the pecan doesn't have leaves and I can transplant out here. You know, pecans are in the same family as walnuts, and they produce a chemical that inhibits some seeds from germinating. But if you transplant them, it's not as big a deal. And really, I haven't had much trouble with this pecan tree affecting anything in the garden. I've had volunteer tomatoes come up under the tree, and they grew fine, and they grew tomatoes. I just came out and harvested. So I had a chicken that was dead in the chicken run, and I thought, okay, when I fix the feeders and the waterers, I was planning on doing it yesterday. I thought I'm gonna go in there, I'll fix it, I'll just pull that guy out. I got busy, I forgot about it. Today I thought, oh shoot, I left the dead chicken in there. Okay, well, I'm going in there with the feeders and waterers today. I'll take care of that. I come out here, can't find it anywhere. The dead chicken is gone. So I'm thinking maybe a predator found its way in. And I think it got too hot. It's been very hot here. And like I said, the feeder and water have been insufficient. So maybe in the hustle and bustle and the struggle of all the chickens trying to get to around a limited amount of space at the feeder and water, maybe he got too hot. I didn't get enough water and died. So I couldn't find him, and I thought, did the other chickens eat him? Because I know chickens will cannibalize, but there's no carcass. They didn't eat all the bones. Did a predator come in? Maybe a predator got the chicken the first day, and then it came back for the carcass. But why wouldn't it take the carcass on the first day? Why wouldn't it take one of the fresh chickens on the second day? And my wife said, "Are you sure it was dead?" And I thought, well, yeah, it was dead, because it was. And then I started questioning my whole reality. Do I have a resurrecting chicken somewhere? Had to do some updates on the chicken enclosure for the little meat chickens. They're starting to get fat and delicious. But to get in there, I had to let all those little tiny butterballs out. So they're tromping through the garden, such as it is. Now, okay, this is not a real pretty garden, but hear me out. I've never said I was as good a gardener as I am a forager. I'm much more, my heart is in the foraging. But also, even though most of the plants I put in here are just kind of hanging on or have been eaten by chickens, or they've been overgrown with weeds, I can still eat just about everything in here. So this is still a garden. Almost everything in here is still edible, including the birds. I promise you the real garden plants are in there. It's like, where's Waldo with garden plants? Can you find the tomatoes? Can you spot the cantaloupe? I found a tomato up here. This was supposed to be a beehive once upon a time. My aronia berries mysteriously disappeared, and I think my youngest son used them in a magic potion. Oh well, next year. Yeah, there's corn in there. This was just sort of a playful experiment. I don't think we're gonna get much corn out of that. I got this big PVC pipe to work on balance and ankle strength for when I run. I want to do more trail running, but mostly what I get to do around here is on the street, or on pavement, for nature trails in town. So it tries to roll, right? So you can walk across it. You can walk it forward and back. I had a friend suggest running a rope through it and then elevating it and walking across it. You juggle on it, join the circus.